There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Did the microphone glitch? I think the microphone glitch. Give me a second. And test, test, test. Testing, testing. Alright. Hold on. Alright, beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, audio's doing good. Audio's looking good. Alright. Beautiful. Alright. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our X. Let's make sure we're live on the X. Are we live on the X? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Alright. Twitch. Yep, we're good. Alright. What about our... what? Oh, oh, oh yeah, no, that always happens. I'll fix that. I just want to make sure we're live everywhere real quick. Let me make sure we're live everywhere. Alright. And then after that, we'll fix that little thing. That's a normal glitch. That just happens. Yeah. Alright, beautiful. We are live on Facebook. Are we live on the Tac Tac? Are we live on the Tac Tac? Let's see. Let's see. Alright. Alright, we're looking good. Looking good, looking good. Okay, yep, we're good here. Alright, let's just take a look at this real quick. Let's fix this little thingy up here, and we should be good. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Bobo Beeb says, howdy, howdy, Bobo. Here in Lima Charlie. Copy that, Bobo. Thank you, thank you. Dankeschön. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Alright. Alright. Good, good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Right now, I'm taking a look at WETO. WETO, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason why I'm taking a look at WETO is because they had a 1-for-100 reverse split, which yesterday WETO wasn't moving around that much, but today it has been moving quite a bit. It has hit a high of 439%. 439%. All right, due to that 1-for-100 reverse split, which is a pretty, it's pretty good news right there for it. Had a little bit of an ABCD pattern forming right over here before forming a bit of a descending wedge right over here, right there. Needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right, needs to break that descending wedge right there. Vic by God says hello. Hello, Vic. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you are making lots of money, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Alright, let's take a look at WETO. WETO. Alright. Let's see here. One second, one second. WETO needs volume to curl off the descending wedge. Hit a high of 439% earlier this morning. And was called on a private Discord. Alright. So there we go. Vic by God says thanks. New to trading. Oh, well, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome to trading, man. We hope you're doing well, man. We hope you're doing well with it. And if you have any questions and need any help with anything, let us know. Let us know. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just put this over here. Let me just get this over here, ladies and gents. But yes, WETO has a 1 for 100 reverse split that it's basically trying to do right now. And yeah, Almore, thank you for the subscription. Thank you for the subscription there. All right. So yeah, WETO needs volume to curl off the descending wedge and hit a high of 439%. Early this morning, it did hit a high of 439% and was called on our private Discord prior to its run up 439%. And actually, I'm pretty sure we went over it yesterday and today. So let me take a look over here just to make sure, just to double check, ladies and gentlemen. All right, WETO. Marty says, good morning, Banger Nation. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day, man. Hope you're having a wonderful day. WETO, as of now, we called the stunk. Hold on. We called the stunk at 4:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when it was at 45% prior to its run up 439% right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Marty says, hello, Bobo and Vic by God. Yes. Hello, hello. Hello, hello to all you, to everybody in the Banger Nation. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello to everybody. I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you guys are blessed. You know what I mean? Blessed with money and just blessed, period, in the story. You know what I mean? All right, so let me take a look over here. Let me take a look over here real quick. Let me just fix some stuff over here. Ooh, give me a second. Oh, one sec. Bobo Beeb says, what's up, Marty? Hello, hello. Hello to Marty. Hope you're making lots of money, Marty. Yeesh. Hold on. Just fix this over here. Bop, right there. Ooh. Vic by God says, amen. Amen, brother. Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on one second. 1 second. All right. All right. All right. Good, good. Okay. So, got that all fixed up. Just had to get that fixed up right there. All right. Let's take a look at FCUV. FCUV. We're going to take a look at that one right there. FCUV. All right. This is Focus Universal Inc., ladies and gentlemen. All right. And Vic by God says WETO breaking my support levels. All right. Let's see. Now, WETO breaking your support levels. Ooh. All right. Well, WETO as of now has been pulling back a little bit. It did have a nice monstrous run earlier in the morning at a nice 439%. So it has been doing that. It was even a bit overbought on the RSI over here. Was overbought on the RSI. So it has that going on right there. So it did have a nice shot upward. It's pulling back now. Has to hold above the support line at 11 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. That's really what it has to do for it to be somewhat interesting to me. Also, let me get some support and resistance lines out for it for WETO before I go into FCV. All right, let me get this over here. Boom and boom right there. So as of now, WETO needs to hold above 12 cents. Break through the 14-cent mark, and then break through 17 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Vic says trying to catch a bounce, but yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with WETO. We'll see what happens.
Volume,
it's all about the volume, right? WETO did have a nice run earlier in the day. Right now, it needs volume to really bounce above that VWAP, curl up above it, break through the 12-cent mark, then break through 14 cents, and then break through the high day at 17 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So it really needs volume to just bounce off of that. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Let's take a look at FCUV. FCUV as of now. All right, FCUV currently on the uptrend right now. up 331%, up 331% right there. FCUV, all right, actually even hit a high of 374%. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh yeah. So we got that going on. FCUV. This stock has a 601,000 float, 9 million volume right there. So as of now, the volume is there for it. So yeah, FCUV, FCUV. Now ran up 374%. All right. And is still on the uptrend as of now. Needs to remain friends with the trend, and let's see here, break the high of day at $9.68 and break the high of day at $9.68. There we go. FCUV. Called this stock earlier in the morning as well. Called this stock earlier in the morning on our private Discord. Called this stock on our private Discord prior to its run, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. FCUV, FCUV, doing its thing right there. Legal says, good morning, Doubles. Good morning, Legal. Hope you're having a wonderful day, man. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Hope you are making lots of money. Money, 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 money. Money! Yes. Alright, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Ooh, let's take this, put this over here. Boom. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, Vic says WETO at 10 at what does it say? 1074. Yeah. Yeah. WETO as of now has a bit of a pullback. Has to hold above that VWAP. If it can't hold above that VWAP, it really needs to break above the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmaxy to me. But beyond that, it also needs to break above 12 cents for it to be interesting, 14 cents for it to be interesting, and then 17 cents for it to be interesting to me as well. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. Again, had a nice run, pulling back. It was overbought in the RSI, so not exactly too surprised that it's pulling back like that. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens there. Alright, but that's FCUV. There's WETO. Let's take a look at LBGJ. LBGJ, right there. Let's take a look at this one. Li Bang International Corporation, Inc. This is a China stock, up 58% as of now, up 58%. So we'll see what happens there. Let's take a look over here. Boom. Alright. This stock has moved up, pulled back quite a bit. Alright. And then proceeded to kind of curl its way on up again. Alright. There we are. FCUV seems to be doing its thing. LBGJ needs to break that descending wedge as well as the VWAP right over there at 3 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. LBGJ needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP at 3 cents. All right. Bobo Beep says 6. Coach knows. And then the money sign. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my money.
What happened?
Coach, Bobo said 6 dot 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 and then said you'd know.
Number 6?
The number 6.
Hold on.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I know. 6 positive.
Huh?
6 positive trades.
Oh.
Six positive trades, right?
6 positive trades. Bobo, you making Bobo money? Is
Bubble money, bubble money.
that what you're doing? You making 6 positive trades there? Ooh.
6 green.
6 green.
Greenage is good.
Ooh, green is good. God is good. A lot of things good there. FCUV ran up a nice 397% just now. FCUV just broke that higher day right there.
16 days in a row.
Ooh, 6 green days in a row.
That's right.
Ooh,
Go,
congratulations,
baby.
Bobo.
Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. All right, FCUV up 397%. FCUV
Let's go.
now ran up 397%, 397%. Yesh. That's what we got going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on. Ooh. That's beautiful.
Were you able to put the attachments?
Hmm?
Were you able to pin the comments and stuff?
Oh, I'm about to. I'm like sharing everything and then I gotta put that, yeah,
Okay.
together. Yeah. Yesh. I'm still sharing stuff, just, doing the whatchamacallits. Yesh. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, FCUV did run up a nice 397%. So that's looking pretty good right there. That's looking pretty good. REPL, and MGRX are doing something as well right there. REPL, let's take a look right there. REPL up 130%. REPL, oh my. Let's see how high it went. Let's see how high it went. Oh yeah. Oh my. Oh my. REPL ran up a nice high of 131% right there. 131%. REPL. Alright. Let's get this over here. Has a bit of a pennant going on. REPL needs to break this pennant right here for it to be so much maxi to mia. Let me get this over here. Hold on. Hold on. Right there. REPL needs to break the pennant, needs to break above the VWAP at $12.71. REPL shot up 131%. Needs to break the pennant and the resistance at $12.30. For it to be so much mexi to mia. There we go. There we go. All right. REPL had that nice run upward over there. Had that nice run upward. We'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see. WETO. WETO is trying to curl its way on up. Needs to break above 12 cents. WETO trying to curl its way on up. Needs to break above 12 cents right there. WETO trying to curl on up needs to break 12 cents for it to be somewhat maxi to me. There we go. We shall see what happens. Let me just get everything all shared up and ready to go. Let me get the announcements out real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get the announcements out real quick because we have a bit of an eventful morning. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But how's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? How's your day going? What do you guys got planned for the weekend? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. What you guys got planned for this weekend? Actually, I honestly don't know what I got planned for this weekend yet. Hold on. What's the weather? What's the weather for this weekend? Let's see. Oh, it's supposed to be rainy. Oh well, that means video games. Hey, the plants got to get water too. You know how it is. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. The plants got to get water too. Woo! The plants got to get water, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is. So I don't mind. I'm not too bothered by that. If it rains, that's fine. It'd be like that sometimes, you know. Gonna have. I already know. I already know. We're gonna have a nice day. We're gonna work, get some money, make some money. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna basically just chill. And I know for a fact, my money mentioned she's gonna be making hot dogs, right? And she's gonna be making hot dogs with that special New York sauce, right? It's like a red sauce with caramelized onions, which the name kind of escapes me at the moment, right? But yeah, it's gonna be there, man. You already know. You know what I mean? So that's that good stuff right there. That's that good stuff. All right. WETO caught a bounce. Yes, it did, Vic. Yes, it did. It broke
Are
a.
you able to link the pin comment?
Oh, hold on. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Coach. I'm getting there. All right. All right. All right. Headed towards 12. Yep, it is at 12 cents right now. Needs to break above 14 cents now, which is the next resistance line right there. Needs to break that next resistance line for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any problems?
All right.
Problems in the chat?
Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, give me just a second. I gotta go grab some water and get something done real quick. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good. We're back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. I had to go do some stuff real quick. Hold on. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Should be good. Should be good. All righty. One sec. There we are. Okay. So right now, WETO currently curling its way on up, then pulled its way back down a little bit, back below 12 cents. Has to break above 12 cents, then 14. Finally, after that, needs to break back towards 17 cents, which is the high of day. So it has to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Also formed a bit of a resistance, a little tiny one at 13 cents right over here. Little tiny resistance right there. But other than that, that's really what we got going on for the WETO. Needs to break above that little high right there. All right, so let me just put this over here. WETO. All right. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we are. All right. All right. So WETO, as of now, needs volume to curl and break 12 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeesh. All right. Hold on one second. Bop right there. All right. Hold on. Just got to get everything all copacetic over here. Boom. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Casey Boyle says, can we get a look at FGL? 1 million float could be a run in the near future. All right, we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it in just a second. Let me just get everything all set up over here. Get all the news out here, and then we should be ready. One second, hold on. Let me just get all the announcements out. Just got to get the announcements out right there. All right. All right, all right, all right. Ish. All right. And there's that. All right. One second. Banger Nation on TikTok says, good morning, Banger Nation. Good morning, good morning. Yes, we'll take a look at FGL in just a second, Casey. Just got to get the announcements out, and then we should be good to go. You know what I mean? Good to go. Can never go wrong. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. One second. All right.
Put the links on YouTube, not on X, so I can copy them and I'll post them.
Yeah. All right. Let me just get this over here. And yep. All right. Just put let me copy them real quick. Give me a second. Yeesh.
Put them in the bot command channel so I can
Yep. 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 Mhm. Here you are. All right.
put all three links and I'll post it
Yeah.
through my phone. Alright? Let me know when you do it in bot command.
Yeah. Give me a second. All right. And this one as well.
You
Yeah.
sent it?
And yep. Just sent it just now. There you go. All right. All right. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. All right.
I only see two links here.
Now there's three.
Where's the one for 200 a month? $200.
That's at the bottom.
It's not in bot command.
All right. Vic says KUST looking decent. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right. There we are. Okay, good. So let's take a look at FGL, then we'll take a look at KUST. So FGL. Let's take a look over here. All right. So I'm looking at FGL right now. This stock is currently up 9%. This is a Malaysian stock, I believe. Yes. All right. So just looking at it right now, I can tell you it's very low on volume right here. So let's get the graffiti pencil activated over here. Let's get it activated. Boom. All right. Choppy over here. Choppy over there. Lots of chop here. 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 And just just very much so choppy and with indecisive wicks right there. Not a lot of volume for FGL, so it's going to need a lot of volume for it to really be so much maxi to me. That's really what I got going on with this stock right here. So FGL needs volume to break the choppy price action and the indecisive wicks. Alright. Very choppy as of now. Needs a lot of volume right there. So let's take a look. Alright. Vic mentioned KUST. Let's take a look at KUST in the meantime. KUST. Alright. Was moving below the VWAP as well. Started climbing a bit above it right there. Formed a bit of a resistance right up over here. Right up over here. All right. And after that, needs to form a pennant right over here. Needs to form a pennant. It formed a pennant right over here. Really needs to break above this pennant and needs to break above the VWAP at $1.83. That's KUST as of now. It was consolidated along the VWAP, pulled back down, and really just needs to break this pennant right here for it to be somewhat interesting to me. So it can break back up and break above that VWAP for it to be so much maxi to me. But right now, that's what it's got going on. Has to break this pennant right here for KUST. KUST needs to break the pennant and the VWAP at $1.83, 183 right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right, so let's see here. Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. So let's see here. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500. 500, 500, 500. Let's get to 500, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. ZBAO moving. I will take a look in just a second. Let me just make sure everything's all copacetic here. 1 sec. ZBAO is moving right now. Let's get a share party. Let's get to 500. 500, 500, 500. 1 sec. There we are. Good. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at, what was it that you said? ZBAO? ZBAO. Let's take a look at ZBAO. How's it doing? Ooh, on the uptrend right now, up 125%. ZBAO. Yes. There we go. ZBAO up 125%. ZBAO up 125%. All right. There we are for ZBAO up 125%. Up 125%. All right. Let's see here for ZBAO. Hit 129 right there while I wasn't looking. Ooh, I like it. All right. Hit 129 while I wasn't looking right there. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right. There we are. There we are. Boom. Right there. Okay. All right. So that's ZBAO right there. Vic says, what breakout lev on CUST? KUST. We don't have any breakout levels for it. I can put some support and resistance lines for it, though. Little Fibonacci retracement line for it. Got the little Fibonacci retracement over here. Give me 1 second. All right. So let's get this over here. Boom. Right there. And right there. Yes. Vic says, wow, you guys see these moves fast and early. Nice. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, by the way, ladies and gents, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot's the cash. Oh, the big bucks, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, be sure to check us out on that little area right there. Be sure to check us out. Be sure to check out that 4-day trial. Also, you can check out the 3-month trial as well that we got going on for a limited time, only at a discounted rate of $66.67 per month, charged quarterly. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 3-month deal for a limited time only, so be sure to check it out, ladies and gents. It's at a nice little discount right there. And of course, be sure to check out our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful merch. We have merch, ladies and gentlemen. We got all sorts of cool stuff. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got hats, aka lids. We even have tumblers. We have cup and handles. When I say cup and handles, I mean the mugs. We've got desk and home accessories, like for example mouse pads, things of that nature. We got all that cool stuff, ladies and gentlemen, all of which featuring our boy, the lovely little character Stewie. Stewie. All right, you got stickers and stuff like that too. We got cool stickers, all sorts of cool stuff like that, and of course we have some shirts for one Beebs Buckaroo. Beebs Buckaroo, who is, yeah, he's one of the greats. All right, and of course we are already trying to get new shirts made for one Goldie Brickstorm right there. Currently getting talks to get those made right there, so we got that going on. But yeah, that's what we got going on. All right, so that's what we got going on right there. Woo! All right. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, all those links are in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. So be sure to check it out, ladies and gents, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot's the cash. Oh, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's take a look over here at ZBAO. ZBAO up 140%. ZBAO hit a nice little move of 140%. 140% on ZBAO. Hold on, let me refresh over here. Bop right there. And zoom in the room over here. Got a little bit of a resistance forming right over here on ZBAO. ZBAO. All right. There we go. All right. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So, ZBAO, as of now, has a resistance line that formed at 38 cents right there. 38 cents ZBAO. ZBAO hit 140. ZBAO hit 140. 140%. now needs, and then had a small pullback there. All right. Formed a resistance line at 38 cents. 38 cents. Formed a resistance line at 38 cents right there. Needs volume to remain friends with the trend right there. That's ZBAO, ZBAO. There we are. There we are. All right. Let's get that going on right there. All right, all right, all right. All right. Okay. All right. Now that that's done, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. All right. All right. MGRX. 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 There we are. All right. There we go. Needs to break this pennant. Looks like it's trying to curl its way on up right now. Boom. Right there. MGRX. Looks like it's trying to curl its way on up right there. Looks like it formed a bit of a resistance right over here at MGRX. Formed a bit of a resistance at 71 cents. MGRX curled off the pennant and hit 142% right there on MGRX. Formed a resistance line at, hold on, 71 cents. 71 cents right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. How's FCUV holding up? All right. FCUV looks like it's curling. Potential curl off this little tiny downtrend over here. Needs to break above $8.29. That's the resistance for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Formed a tiny little downtrend. Needs to break above that little downtrend. Has to bounce off the VWAP, which it looks like it's doing right now. And needs to break $8.29 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. That's FCUV right there. FCUV. FCUV needs volume to break the downtrend and the resistance line at $8.29. $8.29 for it to be so much maxi to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. There we are. All right. Let's see. All right, so how about REPL? REPL, REPL. All right, still in the pennant right there, still somewhat consolidated, still needs to break above 12.71, $12.71 right there. REPL, REPL consolidated, REPL. All right. REPL up 130%. And consolidated needs to break the pennant and the resistance line at $12.71. $12.71 for it to be so much maxi to mia. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, yeesh. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 800. Just keeping an eye on this stuff right here. 1 second. Let's get a share party going on. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 sec. 1 sec. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, hold on. I think we got some requests here. Let me take a look. And ladies and gentlemen, if you got some, if you got a stock that you want us to take a look at, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, ladies and gents. All right. Hold on. Here we go. One second here. Vic says KUST making a move. All right, let's take a look at KUST. In the meantime, while I look for these things, yeah. Hold on 1 sec. All right, let's see how KUST is doing right now. KUST. KUST as of now trying to curl off that little pennant right there, testing the resistance line at $1.72. That's KUST trying to curl off the pennant and needs volume to break the resistance line at $1.72. Here we go. Currently has to break above that 172 right there. All right. Hold on 1 second. FCUV seems to be moving its way on up. FCUV. FCUV, this stock is trying to curl its way on up a little bit. Up 369%. Had a high of 374. Actually, excuse me, 397. FCUV. FCUV. Let's see here. Hold on. Bop right there. FCUV curled off that little downtrend right there and broke it. And is climbing now up to 399% right there. FCUV now 399%. FCUV now up 399% right there. Oh, 417%, excuse me. 417, 417, 423. Oh my, oh my. 423%, 444. Wow, okay, 444. There we are, there we are. Curling off the little downtrend right there, broke the resistance at $8.29, testing the high a day at $10.27 right there. All right, FCUV now up 444%, broke the resistance line and the downtrend. All right, needs to break the high a day at $10.27 for it to be schmexy to mya. All right. Good. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. So that was 444% on FCUV. FCUV. Let's see what else we got here. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1,000. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. All right. Let's get that share party going right there. Keeping an eye on the stock right here. Oh my, FCUV is testing that high a day. Went up to 446. All right. Needs to break above 1027 right now. Hit a high of 446%. Hold on. All right. FCUV hit 446%. 446. FCUV hit 446%. needs to break the new high day, because it did break the old one technically. Needs to break the new high day at $10.33. At $10.33 for it to be somewhat schmaxy to me. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look at CYCU. Let's take a look at CYCU. See how CYCU is doing. On request of Vic. As of now, CYCU is on a bit of a downtrend right here. Needs to break this downtrend and needs to break the VWAP at $2.30 for it to be somewhat schmaxy to me. Currently down 5% on CYCU. CYCU needs volume to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. And the VWAP at $2.30. $2.30. Boom. Right there. That's what we got going on. Alright. Ooh. There we go. Someone requested MGRX 12-hour sleep time. It says MGRX. Alright. Let's take a look at MGRX. MGRX. Alright. So, as of now, MGRX hit a bit of a resistance right over here at around 71 cents. And formed a bit of a pennant right over here. Off this little one. Alright, so it formed a bit of a pennant. Needs to break above the VWAP at 65 cents. That's the first step. MGRX. MGRX as of now formed another pennant. Needs volume to break the VWAP at 65 cents. 65 cents right there for it to be somewhat schmaxy to me. Faisal says hi. Hi, Faisal. Hope you're having a good day. He asked for YDES. Let's take a look at YDES then. YDES. YDES. Alright. Let's see here. Alright. So, YDES, I'm taking a look at it right now. Yeah, it's very choppy in terms of price action here. Very choppy. A lot of indecisive wicks. Not a lot of volume. This stock is a Cambodian stock. Actually, no, excuse me, Taiwanese stock right there. Not a Cambodian stock. Yes. And Faisal says, you too, my friend. Of course, man. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. And you know what? You know, I hope you're blessed, man. Hope you're feeling blessed, Faisal. Hope you're doing well. All right. YDES. YDES. Choppy. And showing many indecisive wicks as of now. Needs volume to break the choppy price action for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but it's going to need a lot of volume on YDES. It's going to need a lot of volume because it's very, very low in volume right there, which is never good in my opinion. Never really good in my opinion if it's very choppy like that. So needs volume. Needs volume right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right. All right. Let's see here. On. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get a share party going on. Faisal says thanks. Our pleasure, man. Our pleasure. Our pleasure, brother. Let's take a look at MGRX. How's MGRX holding up? MGRX up 120%. Still needs to break that 65-cent resistance line right there. MGRX needs to break the 65-cent resistance line right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Alright. Alright. Let's see here. What are the stocks we got going on here? Hold on, hold on. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200. Alright, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Alright. Alright, so let's see here. It is now 9:30 p.m. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. You got that going on right there. All right, let's see how CYCU is doing. Excuse me, not CYCU. What's it called there? It has FCUV. FCUV tested the high of day, but then pulled back just before the high of day right there. Still needs to break $10.33. FCUV. FCUV needs volume to break $10.33 high a day for it to be schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. LBGJ. Let's take a look at LBGJ. LBGJ. Just keeping an eye on these things, man. And then after that, Abdul Rahman asks for DFNS. So we're going to take a look at DFNS in just a second. All right. Now, LBGJ formed a bit of a resistance at 3 cents right there, at 3 cents. So there's more resistance at 3 cents right there. So as of now for LBGJ needs volume to break the resistance at 3 cents, which is also where the VWAP is. So yeah, it really needs to break about 3 cents for it to really be so much schmexy to me. You know what I mean? That's LBGJ. As of now, LBGJ, you know what I mean? Meh, as of now. It had a move earlier, but it really needs to break. Needs to break above the needs to break that lovely little VWAP right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Ooh, that was a good stretch. All right. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's pretty much it for me, honestly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cash, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeesh. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel at CoachNickMoney, where we do all sorts of live streaming, stock reviews, stock analysis, long form videos, short form videos. We do all sorts of cool stuff like that. All sorts of funny stuff like that. We got funny videos, we got entertaining videos, we got informative videos, we got all sorts of cool stuff like that, as well as motivational videos. So yeah, be sure to check us out there. And show it some love, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to show it some love. Give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell icon. Be sure to check us out on our X.com as well, at CoachNickMoney, where we do all sorts of live streaming stock reviews and stock analysis there. Be sure to check us out on our Twitch, at CoachNickMoney, where we do all sorts of live streaming as well. Be sure to check us out on our Facebook, at CoachNickMoney, right? And be sure to check us out on our TikTok, tiki-taki, a.k.a. the Tac, ladies and gentlemen. You can find us there at DBL Nicks, at DBLNICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Money. Yes. Abdul Rahman said has the little dollar signs there. Yes, good. Good. That's right. You think about the right thing there. Money, good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me there. Much love. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys at 1:30 p.m. for Power Play, hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses the Power Hour. Basically, what he likes to do is he likes to look at the stock market prior to the Power Hour, and he basically gives his honest review and analysis on each and every one of the stocks. Lets them simmer on high heat a little bit with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of sazon, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of turmeric, right? And yeah. All right. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I was just looking at ZBAO real quick. ZBAO. All right. Let me actually put that over here real quick so I can keep an eye on it while I do the outro here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, all right, so yeah, basically what it is Coach likes to hang around the stock market prior to the Power Hour, and what he likes to do is he likes to basically keep an eye on the stocks, right? And he likes to, okay, good, all right. Vic says thanks a mil, of course. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Sorry about that. I'm just like looking at the stocks right now a little bit, so I'm like a little bit like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, is it gonna curl up? You know what I mean? So yes, now that's kind of looking at that right now. Like, so that if I go quiet, it's like normally me just like looking at the stock there and seeing what's going on. But yes, Coach likes to basically let the stock simmer on high heat after he reviews them with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of sazon, a little bit of cumin, a little turmeric, all that good stuff, a little bit of the tagine right there, all that good stuff. And while he's doing that, he likes to, get some dubs for the community in Fortnite. Basically, he plays some Fortnite, gets some dubs for the community while he waits for the stocks to start moving their way on up, and then he goes back to reviewing them. Then he goes back to playing the game, and then he rinse and repeat right there until eventually he gets some stocks that are moving and grooving and moving. And he does catch those, so it'd be like that, right? So yeah, that's what he's got going on right there. That is what the Coach Meister General's got going on. So yeah, be sure to check out Power Play at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time prior to the Power Hour. Be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check it out and show it some love. Ladies and gentlemen, show it some love. Give me just a second right here. But yes, be sure to show it some love. Yeesh. Hold on one sec. All right. But, ladies and gentlemen, Also, another thing before we wrap up real quick, if you guys have been watching and you're serious about trading small caps, don't just sit on the outside trying to piece it together. We've got a 4-day full access pass for only $9.99, as well as a 3-month full access pass right there that we got going on prior to the power hour right there. Excuse me, I said the prior to the power hour. Basically, we got a 4-day full access pass for $9.99, as well as a 3-month pass that's charged at a rate of $66.67 per month, charged quarterly. So be sure to check that out because it's there for a limited time, and both of them are full access, ladies and gentlemen. So you come inside, you get to see how we actually operate live. You get to see how we structure trade ideas, how we map levels, how we think about risk, how we handle momentum. You also get next day early watch list, as well as the 24/7 market news flow, which is on the right-hand side of the screen, complete with all sorts of cool things. Like, for example, it has a hyperlink to the article, a synopsis of the article, as well as a hyperlink to the ticker that is affiliated with the news within said article, so you can learn more about the article as well as learn more about the ticker, right? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you get access to our pre-market regular hours and after hours scanners, built with the ticker, price, volume, float, change in percentage, whether the stock is moving up or down, as well as the hyperlinks with Catalyst context built right in. And you also get access to our ticker tape built to catch stocks when they're starting to heat up, but before they go parabolic, ladies and gentlemen, because, ladies and gents, this isn't noise. We like to do structure. So if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass or the 3-month pass and come see it live. Link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. And when you come in, let us know you saw us in the stream. We'd love to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. That's bye-bye. All right. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and peace out. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you at 1:30 p.m.